Stand out of my light. That's what Diogenes of Sinope replied to Alexander the Great when Alexander the Great visited him during 4th century AD or BC. I can't remember off the top of my head. Most likely BC. But that's what his reply after Alexander the Great asked of him what desire that he wanted, and Alexander the Great could fulfill it for him. And if you have no idea who he is, Diogenes of Sinope is a famous philosopher, but not because of any abstract ideas, but more so in the sense that he was very unorthodox in what it meant to be a philosopher. You know, after being exiled from his hometown of Sinope, he took on the life of beggary, basically, becoming a bum. And he lived most of his days in a barrel, you know. He'd walk around with a lamp in the middle of the day, asking people who would light up his light, something along those lines. He was a very strange character. He'd give lectures to dogs. He'd go to the theater where philosophers would have their own discussion. You know, philosophers like Plato, Socrates, all the great minds that we've known. And he would just eat loudly, chew as loud as he possibly could during those discussions. You know, he's basically just a troll under that time period. But I'm going through a book right now on how to stay focused in this attention robbing economy that we're being sucked into lately. And it's completely unrelated to the book, but standing out of my light really clicked something within me, and something I've been realizing about myself lately as well. How we've let so many things get in the way of our true inner light. You know, in book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 12 to around 15, most likely verse 14 to 15, Yahusha explains to the masses that be the light of the world, you know, be the salt of the earth. What that means is that you give others flavor. You be that light for other people. You be that light on the hill that attracts everybody, that is everybody. But how does that even feel like? What does that even mean? Well, we have to also refer to that in order to see the kingdom of heaven, you must have childlike faith. In order to see the kingdom of God, you must have childlike faith. And it's those little hints that we come into the direction of where we're supposed to go on a straight and narrow path. In order to truly let your inner light shine to the world, you have to go back to how you were as a child. Because if we all just go back to how we were as children, we were full of light. The radiance we would get off would just make everybody happy. But during life, certain events, certain things that were said to us slowly start poking at us, slowly start sticking to us, slowly start covering that light, until eventually that light gets covered, in a sense that it no longer shines. You're no longer expressing yourself as you once wanted to, as you once are. Once you know your inner being is how it truly is. And so what I've been realizing is, like, myself lately, is that I enjoyed so many things as a child, but yet I cast them away because of some event in my life, some comment that was made to me, that I decided that I had to shave that away. But in reality, I should have leaned into those desires, into what truly made me myself. And I think that's just a problem that a lot of people are facing nowadays, is that we try to be something else, but in reality, that same radiance we had as a child is exactly what we need now in order to shine bright, in order to give everybody that flavor, in order to attract them to that straight and narrow path that we need to be on. It doesn't mean that these hard days won't come by, but it's more of a fact that we look forward to struggling through them, in a sense. You know, to reference Guts off of Berserk, you know, be a struggler. Be someone who struggles through it, but with a smile on your face. God's probably not the best person to use as an example of that, if you know what I'm talking about. But you understand. I'm hoping you understand what I'm trying to convey in this little short message. I don't know. I was just sitting down eating dinner, and boom, the thought just came into my head to just make this video and get it out. And I think that's important too. I made previous videos too beforehand on allowing your input to be greater than your output, or your output greater than your input. You know, especially in this information age of, and especially attention, we're so inundated with so much things coming into us that they're getting in the way of our light. They're getting in the way of us shining so bright that people can't help but stare and come close to us to get to know what is this light? How can I get some of that? And I think that just ultimately what charisma is, you know, be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. See ya. I gotta go to Bible study.